On page 26, very short Chumash. Rabbi. Daily synopsis. We'll be talking about how God, to demonstrate the error of those who spoke against the incense and to punish those who still adhered to Korach's mistaken beliefs. God first unleashed an epidemic which started killing people instantaneously. He then instructed Aaron to stave off this epidemic by offering up incense properly, and the plague ceased. All right, page 26. Saying, remove yourself from the midst of this congregation. And I shall wipe them out in an instant. Moshe and Aaron fell upon their faces. Remove yourself from the congregation. I will wipe them out, and they fell on their face. Okay. Quickly go take the fire pan, put of fire and incense on it, and go quickly to the congregation and atone on them. For the wrath has gone forth from before Hashem, the plague has begun. And make atonement for them. Moshe learned this trick, the secret.
The wording is the special wrath. Why didn't you read the word special?
Okay, special wrath. Either way. I mean, the special is not bolded. That's their putting an adjective. I've told many times. I'm not a fan always of their incorporation in the non-bold.
Who is the author of the Chayenu? Do you know his name?
Chayenu took it. There was a Feldheim Chumash that was never published. A Chumash with Rashi. I think they got the rights of it and they use it. So I'm not sure who the original author was. It's pretty good. Most of them, actually, the Rashis are very good with the footnotes, but particularly their translation, they're doing a certain angle. I don't always like that angle because it's basically trying to incorporate a take on Rashi into the words, which sometimes is confusing before you read the Rashi. Okay, but I digress. The secret of the angel of death, his secret, the angel of death told Moshe this when he went up to heaven by Mount Sinai.
Wow.
That the incense, the mitzvah of the incense stops plagues. This is stated in the tractate Shabbat, which is why when the plague started, he told Aaron, quick, get the incense. Why don't you tell him take the fire extinguisher? Why don't you take the whatever? The incense was the one to do that. Yud Beis. Aaron took the fire pan, as Moshe said, and ran to the midst of the congregation. And behold, the congregation, the plague had already begun among the people. And he put the incense on the fire pan, made atonement for the people. All right, Yud Gimel. He stood between the dead and the living. When the epidemic was halted.
This is Aaron who's standing between the dead.
Correct.
And he's got a fire pan or something like that, and he's holding it.
He had a fire pan. They put the incense on it, and that affected atonement. And there he is with this fire pan with incense coming up from it, and he stopped the dead. He made a differentiation of those who died already, and the plague stopped for the living remainder. Let's see Rashi.
Not to be funny, we could have used some fire pans back with COVID.
100%. Okay. He stood between the dead. He took hold of the angel and stopped him against his will. Pass me your Chumash. So the angel of death. So it's funny. The angel of death who's doing this plague is angry. Is being stopped to do his craft of killing. So his job, the Malach, the angel of death, said, "Let me do my mission. Let me do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to give a plague." So Aaron said to him, "What?
These are the Korahites who were dying in the plague?
I think it was good question. No. Here it says this is the people were they add here the fact that people were complaining about the fate that the people they died already. Korach's main supporters died. Who's complaining yesterday? The people in verse 6 said, "You killed the people of God. What did you do, Maisha?" Like,
oh, they're complaining about the mass murder of the Korahites. Yeah.
Like you're heavy-handed,
terrorists.
What was that where they did the in Hong Kong, the square? Tiananmen Square. They killed the protesters.
Yeah.
So Moshe, you're responsible for killing the protesters.
Right.
So God then told Moshe the fact that the remnants of Israel, the people, not the Korach supporters, were complaining, and therefore they're insinuating that Korach had a point.
Whoa.
Right? If you're complaining that Korach met this end for challenging Moshe's spiritual classes, then you're siding. You agree a little bit with him. Okay. What happens when the spiritual boundaries between the people are breached? You know what happens? People die. Why does it happen? If you want to, why does breaching it make that happen? I'm just looking back.
What you said, agreeing, kind of.
Yeah, but why? 35, 153.
Why what?
Why is Korach? Why was it so dangerous to say everybody should be a Kohen? Why? Like, okay, whatever. I mean, everybody gets a trophy. Like, okay, why is it so important? Like, why is that? Why is it so dangerous? Is my point. My question. The reason is we see that not everybody can go into the temple anymore. You'll die, right? Meaning, think about it. The fact there's a Kohen Levi in Yisrael is actually for our benefit. That not everybody can be on the level of Kohen, ready for service at any moment. And if you go in unworthy, you die. It's actually it's a very balanced system to enable the full Jewish people to exist. When you break it down, you're causing eventual chaos, and you're going to be zapped by not being worthy of being in the presence of God at a certain moment, and so on. That's kind of the logic. So God was saying you can no longer argue. So God, this is actually from a Sicho. The Rabbi gives these, like, this is all in the not bold, that the fact that they complain shows that they're not innocent. Moshe said, "Why are you punishing all the Jews? Just punish Korach and his supporters." Okay, God punishes. What happens? The Jews complain that Korach was killed. Proof? No, they're not so innocent. Right? So therefore, a plague does break out for all the other remaining Jews. To which Aaron, then God, Moshe says, "Aaron, quick, do the trick, do the incense." Okay, then the angel of death is like, why are you stopping me? I'm doing my mission from God. So listen to this. This is a powerful Rashi. Very powerful. Rashi from a medrash, a curated medrash from Rashi. He says, but you're a shliach of God, Mr. Angel of Death. I'm a shliach of Moshe. So the angel of death smirks, my own word, and says, like, I'm from God and you're from Moshe. Like, I think God is a more authoritative boss than Moshe.
But so God is instructing Moshe.
Right. That's the angel. That's the angel of death. Well, angel of death was saying, God told me to do this plague. Why are you stopping me? He says, Moshe told me to stop you. But God told me to do it. So why is Moshe getting in the way? To which Aaron replies, nothing that Moshe says is on his own. There's no Moshe
Yes.
separate from God. Moshe is a transparent glass to God.
Wow.
Im in ata mamin.
Yeah.
If you don't believe, you don't believe me, Mr. Angel of Death. Come, let's go to the temple and we'll ask God there. And that's what it says. Aaron returned to Moshe because he brought the angel of death who was complaining, why are you stopping me? That's explanation one of why it says he was standing between the angel, the dead and living. He was actually, whatever that means, he was preventing the angel of death from going further. That's what it means. He stood between death, not as just like a poetic way, but the angel of death.
Mm-hmm.
This is Aaron.
This Aaron was standing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Another explanation of Aaron standing between death and life was why was the plague stopped through incense? Because the people of Israel were criticizing, maligning the incense. They're saying it's poison. Look, we had a catastrophe of Nadav and Avihu died from it. And through it now, 250 men, they brought it and they died. So Hashem, the source of blessing, said to them, you will see that it stops plagues and it's the sin that kills. Understand?
Yeah.
It's
Hashem is right. No wrong.
yeah. Very, very powerful idea here.
Wow.
There's a lot to talk about. How Moshe, this is very important in Chabad doctrine. If you want insider doctrine, the idea of the way we relate to a Rebbe, that a Rebbe, a leader, is not true Jewish spiritual leader of that caliber, is not just like a smart guy or a learned guy. Is someone that has a certain transparency to the divine. There's a certain refinement that happened, maybe they made, whatever, that there are transparency. And therefore, although, you can look at life, you can look at the Torah and you can get 20 opinions. What do I do? What do I focus on? Right? Look at even within the Orthodox, different movements, different Orthodox milieus. There are those that prioritize Talmud above all. There are those that, say Chesed above all, right? How do you know what to choose? So one of the idea of a Rebbe is telling you, like, it's all true, but this is maybe a little more aligned of the ratio. Maybe.